Welcome everybody to another episode of the Streamer Inspo Talkshow. I think that's the name we're going with. The show where you can get some inspiration if you're an aspiring streamer or if you're just a viewer and want to get to know your favorite streamers some more. I am joined here by JMViper86.
Hello.
He is a longtime streamer, I'm pretty sure, of a few years.
Yeah, a few years, that's a thing, yeah.
I stumbled upon you when I was working one day. I had my computer off to the side, and I was scrolling through Twitch, and I was looking for some wrestling streams, but not just anybody playing wrestling.
Right.
I was looking for people who were doing virtual virtual promotions, or
right.
or what do they call VFed? Is that a term?
Yeah, it's eFed, which, you know, I guess it's from my understanding, it's Entertainment Federation. That's what the E stands for. But yeah, it should be VFed because it's all virtual stuff. So
yeah, VFed, eFed, whatever.
Yeah.
I stumbled upon your channel, and spent a little time there, and I learned that if you're a long-time viewer, you get a character,
mm-hmm.
and you're making them fight each other, and that was also what I was doing. I wasn't streaming it, though. I was just streaming it to my small group of friends.
You're doing it for
Discord.
your friends, yeah.
Yeah, and then I was like, oh my gosh, he's doing it for not only his friends, but his viewers. People. And then you were also doing the announcer thing.
Yep.
The announcer voice, and I was like, and the commentary, and I was like, can I do this? Is this something that I could do?
Anybody could do it. It's just a lot of work to put into it. That's all.
A lot of work.
Yes.
I've been, fast forward. I don't even know when I discovered you, but fast forward to now,
yep.
Many, many months later, we've got GCW, you've got SPW.
Yep.
Friends of mine are starting their promotions. It's become a domino effect.
Yeah.
So, first off, I want to say thanks for the inspiration.
Oh, well, no problem. I'm glad I could inspire somebody doing this.
Yeah, so we're gonna chat a little bit about
sure.
Your humble beginnings and your also humble today's.
Yeah. You'll be very surprised with the beginnings. I'll tell you that right now.
I can't wait to learn about it because I've seen some of your videos.
Yeah.
Just like old highlights, or like I remember watching your channel trailer, and I was like, oh, he also plays all these other games, or he did, or he still sometimes
the
does.
channel trailer, it was put together by like one of my top moderators, Boyce, and he just threw like the most random games I've ever streamed on my channel together, and it's like, there's Fallout 76. Oh, we're gonna cut away to Rocket League. There's Euro Truck Simulator 2.
Oh yeah, that's a great game. I played that.
So
that's some good stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Well, to start off, why did you start streaming, and what were some of your inspirations, if you had any?
I don't know if I really. I started streaming. We'll start with this. I started streaming because now this channel's dead. I'm actually sorry I deleted it, but I actually came over from YouTube. And I was doing a bunch of YouTube videos with a couple of my UK friends, and it was great because I got them on an American time schedule, so whenever I was around, they were around. And we were doing a lot of the DayZ Arma 2 mod back in the day. And then I was posting a bunch of those types of videos, and then I was also doing the Arma 2 military stuff with them, and I was posting those videos. And it's such a weird, different contrast, because those would be my two go-to games with them, but then with all my other gaming friends, it was Minecraft. So it's like, okay, we have like zombies, military over here, Minecraft over here. And I wasn't doing many Minecraft videos. That was just more me and my buddies playing, whatnot. But the Arma stuff and the DayZ stuff, that was fun. I was posting videos on that. A couple of the videos got traction. I say traction, like the highest view count I had was like 2,000. And
Hey.
in today's day and age, that's like, a drop in the pond. So, I don't know really if there was any inspiration of going over to streaming. Like, I can't pull out, names like, oh, I was watching this person, I was watching that person. It was just, hey, I'm doing this pre-recorded, uploading it. Why don't I do it live? And that way I can chat with my friends in real time and they can see what I'm doing in real time. Because when I'm recording these videos, I'm not screen sharing. I'm not doing any of that. They're just playing along with me. So they're getting their perspective. I'm getting my perspective, but they're not seeing from my perspective. So until after when I put it on YouTube. So I just decided, well, hey, we'll switch the YouTube stuff. I'll try the live stuff. I'll see if I'm any good at actually, keeping up a conversation to people while I'm playing and whatnot. I'm like, if I can talk to my friends playing, I can talk to them while I'm streaming this. So that's how it kind of snowballed. And like I said, I'm kind of miffed that I got rid of that channel. I kind of went through I don't want to say a gaming crisis, but I'm like, this is like, I'm not streaming or recording Arma anymore. I'm not doing DayZ anymore. I'm not really doing Minecraft anymore. So if I'm putting stuff on my, if I'm streaming stuff or putting stuff on my YouTube channel that is completely different from that, I'm going to just lose my audience. I'm going to have to start over again. So might as well just get rid of that channel and make a new one. And yeah, so.
I think that can be also like I've done stuff like that where I almost kind of like overthink everything. I'm just like, whatever.
That's a lot. That's a big like problem with me is overthinking a lot of things when it comes to YouTube and Twitch. I don't. I have a YouTube channel now. I put one back up. There's nothing on it. I keep meaning to get stuff on there, but I took a little bit of a hiatus from Twitch. I'm just starting to get back into that now. So step at a time, trying to get the ball rolling with Twitch again, and then maybe I'll put some stuff on the YouTube stuff. But I overthink a lot when it comes to the content I put out there.
It can be intimidating. I mean, just streaming content in general.
Yep.
I think I said this in the last podcast, and I'll probably say it in future ones. But like, streaming can be intimidating sometimes if you don't like get the results that you expect,
right.
Or if you get steady results for a while and then it changes and you're like, what did I do? What happened? But that's just like the nature of how this all goes.
It is. And
the highs are high and the lows are low.
Lows. And I kind of shot myself in the foot too, because like I said, I'm coming back from a hiatus and, thankfully a lot, I wouldn't say all, but a lot of my regulars have come back. And they're supporting the channel, which is great, fantastic. But the people that were just kind of on the casual watching basis, I haven't found my foothold with them yet. So yeah, the numbers have dropped off and whatnot. And I do my best. And again, here's the overthinking thing. I do my best. I shut the viewer numbers off. I shut all that stuff off. I don't want to see it. I don't need to see how many people are in my chat and all this and that and the other thing. But you get those stream statistics back after a stream, and it's like, oh, you peaked at this many viewers today, and I'm like, I've done double that before, and I'm like, I really hurt myself taking that break, but trying to get back into the grind with it.
But that just comes to show you that the people that are there for you, like sticking around, like you have a loyal fan base.
I do, and
help you out and
I wouldn't have come back if it wasn't for them. So
there you go. So you might have touched on it already, but in terms of that loyal audience that you sort of have now, how long did that take to really, gain?
Well, like I said, it started with a bunch of my friends and whatnot gaming, whether it was the Arma 2 DayZ stuff or the Minecraft stuff. So it naturally progressed when I came over to Twitch. They were in my chat. They become regulars. They're friends and family, first and foremost, but they're the ones there helping keep the numbers where they're at. And
so you kind of already sort of had them
right, but it's changed. It's definitely changed, because from then to now, I can probably count on one hand, maybe two, how many have stayed throughout that whole long period of time. And it's not like I've lost the numbers, because it's just friendships and whatnot come and go, as way with life. And so I have a bunch of new friends now that game with me, and that are really important people in my life, just outside of this whole streaming thing and whatnot. And they're the ones that make up my core audience. And like I said, I do it for them. And then if I get the random people that come in that I don't know, which is great. I mean, I didn't know Boyce before Twitch. I didn't know Navig before Twitch. I'm just naming a bunch of my friends and mods here. Thunder. I all met them through Twitch, and they became really close friends. I mean, I've there's the flag behind me there, and I've been out to Scotland. I visited a couple of them, so.
And that's awesome.
Yeah.
That you've kind of like have that, relationship with them, and I want to do the same thing. I have a few friends that I've met through streaming.
Right.
And the other day I was talking to some friends who also stream, and I was like, hey, streamer meetup? And they're like, TwitchCon next year. And I was like, where's TwitchCon? And they're like, San Diego. And I was like, oh, I'm poor. I'm broke as shit.
The first big streaming meetup I did was at PAX East, and it was this is when I was still big into the Minecraft stuff. I was part of an actual Minecraft stream team at the time. And there was a chunk of us that went to PAX East, and we all met up and hung out with each other. And it was just a ball, and that's how we became closer. And
that sounds so awesome.
There's a few of them, we've kind of gone our separate ways, and nothing happened, no bad blood or anything like that. Interests change, life changes, somebody goes this way, we go that way. But I still do keep in touch with a couple of them, and some of them are still pretty good friends of mine. So
awesome. So moving on, we know you do the 2K stuff, the
for better or worse,
or VFed, yeah. I guess, do you maybe want to talk about that a little more? And
we can dive into it, sure.
I mean, have you been doing that? You started with Minecraft and DayZ and all that. Mm-hmm. When did you start doing the 2K stuff and really kind of getting people interested in that?
The first game I started with the whole EFET thing was 2K18. We started with 2K18. Not right when it came out. I would say probably half a year into its lifespan, more or less. I'm not good with dates. I don't keep track of a whole lot of stuff. But the best of my memory, it was about halfway through the game's life cycle. And I had made wrestlers after me, after family members, after friends and whatnot. And I'm like, there was a streamer. Now I can say this. There is a streamer that inspired me to do this. He's a bigger streamer. His name's Tangent. He's from the Massachusetts, Boston area. And one of my favorite streamers, really nice, down-to-earth guy. He streams a whole lot of other things. But he has his own little EFED that he streams. And I got sucked into that. I'm like, oh, this is interesting. Okay, I've never thought about doing this before. And I just kept watching and watching. And, I mimic some of my stuff after his. I don't try to, do a direct copycat. I don't want to just be like, hey, he's a ripoff of that guy. So, I've tweaked it to the way I want to do things. But, it was Tangent, watching him, watching his EFED. And I'm like, okay, this is something cool. And I went through the categories on Twitch. I'm like, okay, other people are doing this. Let's see what I can do with it. And that's how that began. And I first and foremost made the wrestlers after me and my family, because it's like, okay, that's my base. Those people aren't going anywhere. And then some IRL friends of mine that also happened to watch the stream. I'm like, okay, I know they're not going to go anywhere. And then I'm like, what I'll do is have people come into the stream. And at the beginning, I was like, okay, you want a call, you get a call. You want a call, you get a call. You want a call, you get a call. Because I need to build up.
That's what I do now.
You got to build it up, and then you can be a little bit more nitpicky with it. So that's how I started it. And then as this has gone on and through 18, 19, 20, back to 19, I've tailored it so it's like, okay, I have a decent roster. I have a decent fan base that likes to watch this stuff. And then if newer people want to come in, because you'll get those people, oh hey, how do I get my car in here? Oh hey, can you download mine? And it's like, no hi, no how are you? Oh, this is cool. It's like they just come on in and be like, hey, how do I get in on this? So to stop that, because I don't want people just to come in. I've had this before, and I've been a victim of it. You come in, you get them downloaded, they're around for the first couple of shows, and either they lose interest or they don't like how you're doing things right. Because I'm not just gonna grab Jack over here, bring him in, and hey, you get a world title shot your second appearance. That's not how I roll with that stuff. So they find that out and they disappear, and I'm stuck with a call that nobody gives a crap about.
Right.
So
yeah.
I've put in some fail safes. I've done it by hours. Like, oh, if you've been in my stream X amount of hours, you get your
channel points.
Yep. Now I do the channel point thing because my hours got screwy. I just did a PC build this past year, and it just wiped everything. I'm like, that's what I get for not backing stuff up. But yeah, now I'm like, okay, well, if I set the channel points high enough, not too high, I don't want to make it ridiculous, but
well, channel points are also kind of a measurement of
how long
your time
there.
Right, so I feel like that is pretty reasonable.
Yeah, I do 25,000.
think it's funny too.
Yeah, 25,000.
You were in my stream the other day when someone was like like begging to put their caw in the show, and we literally just kept saying, yeah, like if you're a regular viewer here, and then you were in there like, you should do like a channel point
system. Do it. Just shut them up.
I like have no caw space.
Right.
Because I was doing you get a call, you get a call. Now everybody got a call, and now I have 0 space left.
I was working at that point too. I was on the road, and I was at one of my locations, and I heard this going on. I'm like, well, before I get back, driving, I just got to do the channel point thing.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, you got to be a regular viewer, and he was like, okay, put my character in.
Right. Yeah, no, he wasn't listening. No, I saw that. I saw one of your mods like, no, like Galeer said.
God.
I know.
But yeah, it's a really cool way to get people interested in the streams and get invested. I do like the gift card giveaway for the pay-per-views, and I remember the first one we did. I think your entire like community was on that stream. I peaked at like my highest peak like ever, 40 viewers or something like that. And yeah, it's a good way to get them involved, and it's funny too because, well, I don't know how it goes for you. I know a lot of your fan base are wrestling fans too.
Not as many as you would think, though. Not as many. I have people in there that love what we do. And I say we because it's a community effort, because if I didn't have the cause, I wouldn't have what I'm doing now. They love what we do. They love seeing their caw get in there, win, lose, draw, whatever. They love it. But they won't watch AEW. They won't watch WWE. They don't care about that stuff.
I think it's about the same for mine. There's like, there's some, but like a lot of them, like this is like the only pro wrestling that they've ever watched.
Right.
But it's cool that people will be into it regardless of that.
It's interactive, and that's what they want. They want the interaction with the streamer, with the stream, and it's like, let's say, Boyce, for example, his character gets in there with another one of my friends, B. Stein, his character gets in there, and, they'll have the friendly banter in chat and do the chants and everything like that. And,
yep.
And then complain when their guy doesn't do well. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the trash talking.
Right.
Too.
It's great.
I love to see it.
I love it.
So what is one of your most memorable moments from streaming? Or if you could name like 2 or 3.
Just over the whole course?
Yeah.
Whew.
Any special moments?
My friend Rachel from Scotland had flown over, and we were doing a stream together, and she was sitting next to me. We were doing Rocket League, and we were playing with one of my buddies out in the UK, and it's actually a highlight if you head on my channel at some point and go through my highlights. There is a really good sequence where I lay up the ball, she gets it to the goal, he comes down, knocks it right in. That was a beautiful time. Another time Rachel's part of a lot of these, and she doesn't realize it, but it's great. Euro Truck 2, her and I are doing like a two-person convoy heading up to Scotland, and just goofing around with each other, and she's dogging it because she has a heavier load than I do, and I'm passing her on the shoulder, and she's like, "What are you doing?" So I swerve in front of her just to like scare her. I didn't realize she was going to swerve, hit the guardrail, and jackknife in the middle of the road. So that was that was amazing. She came back and cut me off and got me back. That was amazing. I was playing Fallout 76. This is in the this is my channel intro. I was playing 76 with Boyce and a friend of ours, Sabrina, and we were in two houses. I was in one house. Boyce and Sabrina were in the other house. And I could hear them fighting, if whoever plays Fallout 76, these mole miner creatures in this other house. And there's nobody in my house. So the two houses are connected through a broken wall on the second floor. And they're in the second floor on the second house fighting these mole miners. So I come rocking in with a pump-action shotgun, shoot one in the face, which happened to be the last one, falls down, and I look over at them. Hi.
I love that.
So that was good. And recently, with the SPW stuff, I just had a pay-per-view on Sunday, and Sliders, man. The match Sliders. I would definitely recommend screwing with those like a little bit. Because
the AI.
Right, because
Sliders.
We went from 19 to 20, and I was trying, for the love of God, I was trying to make 20 work. Because when 20 works, at least with a matchup, the AI wrestling, I feel, is better because they do more. I felt like with 20, for 2K19, the reason I switched to 20, because I felt like the matches were all the same moves. Not move sets, but moves. Like, I give a guy a suplex.
The same sequences.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm just like, this
suplex, he goes to pick him up,
right.
The guy getting picked up reverses it.
Right.
Reversal.
It was just getting so mundane, and I was getting bored. And if I'm getting bored, and if I'm trying not to show that on stream, but if a streamer shows that they're bored, it trickles over into chat. We all know this. So I went to 20 because when it's good, it's good. But the problem is 20's universe mode is so broken. You can get 2 months into that universe mode and everything is just going haywire, and you can't get it back to what it was in the beginning. So I looked up on Google, 2K19 AI match sliders, and I'm like, AI versus AI, because there are different sliders for person versus AI and AI versus AI. So I found one that had the most views, the most likes. It was a YouTube video. The most views, the most likes out of all the other ones I saw. And I'm like, okay, I'll try this. And so far the matches haven't been all cookie cutter the same. I've actually been seeing wrestlers do moves that I didn't know they had because I just downloaded their character from the person. And I'm like,
Did you go off? So you went off. You said you Google search. You went off of kind of like what a lot of people were recommending.
Yeah, I can send you what I'm using. And see if
I use it. I'm pretty sure I use the same one. And ever since I changed it, it's like that referee downtime, man.
Right. Exactly.
He's only down probably like an extra like 5 seconds,
but it makes
a
difference.
difference. Yeah.
But one of the matches, the wrestler's name is Stone, and he was versing a wrestler named Riddick. And Stone, he got Riddick into the corner. I'm like, okay. And this is about a good 7-8 minutes into the match. So the AI's fatigued. So Stone is like slowly pulling Riddick off the turnbuckles and putting him up on the top turnbuckle. I'm like, okay, superplex. No. The freaking AI drop kicks Riddick off the top turnbuckle to the floor, which I've never seen in 2K19 before. I'm like, like with AI versus AI, I know it can be done. It's in the game, but I've never seen the AI do it. I'm like, holy, you just killed him.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was a great moment because I've never seen that before. And my chat went nuts. They're like, holy. So, out of the blue moments like that are what make this stream. Like coming in through the wall at doing Fallout to just a random moment where the AI actually does something right that you've never seen before in a wrestling game.
Yeah.
So
it feels more like wrestling.
Yes. And I do my best. Another big reason, little off topic, but another big reason I switched back from 20 to 19. It's broken AF because the fact I was intervening in more matches than I should, because once the AI gets outside of the ring in 19, count 6, 7, maybe 8 for those wrestling or non-wrestling fans. You get a 10 count outside the ring before it's thrown out. In 2K19, I've seen them throw them back in as early as a 2 or 3 count. The latest is a 9 count, and that's rare, but normal, you can guarantee they're going to be back in the ring by the 6 or 7 count. Right. 2K20, I've had more double count out draws than I would like to admit, and I would literally have to, in universe mode, during a match, take control of one of the wrestlers to either get him back in or throw the other guy in to continue the match to try to get at least somewhat of a clean finish. And I'm just like, I don't want to interfere.
You upped the ring out count to 20, didn't you?
And it didn't work.
That's insane.
Yeah, it worked here and there, but overall it didn't work because they would stay outside until that 20 count. I turned I had to make a custom match because you can't do no count in just a regular match setting. They took that out for whatever reason. So I had to make a custom match with a no count, and they would just fight outside forever sometimes. It wouldn't be all the time, but it was enough to, break what we're trying to do. So
yeah,
another big reason I went to 2K19, because I didn't want to interfere with what the AI is doing, because I don't want streamer interference.
I'd like to think that 2K just forgot to add these things instead of intentionally just they're just like, oh shit, I forgot it, man. Well, well, the game's already out. We can't patch it for some reason.
Well, did you know when Ukes left after 19 and what was it, visual?
Yeah, and everything fell the fuck apart.
What was it, visual designs?
Visual concepts.
Concepts, that's it, took over. They utilized a lot of 2K18 assets for the game.
I never played 2K18, so
yeah,
I have no idea.
Well, I'm trying to figure out what assets they used because the game's more broken than 18. So, I mean, I don't get it. I don't know what they used that was right, but
all right, real quick. Favorite 2K and favorite SmackDown versus Raw game. 2K's been around since 14.
Because 13, they just did WWE 13, and that was the one Punk was on the cover of.
All right, we can count those two, WWE 12 and 13.
I mean, Punk...
Because those were decent games.
I'm a Punk mark, so 13 was great because he was on the cover. From what I can remember, though, as far as... I mean, doing the E-Fed stuff, obviously for me, 19, because it was better than 18, and it's better than 20.
It's probably one of the more well-rounded games in 2K games in recent memory.
I wouldn't go as far as to say it's polished, because there are bugs. Like, if I'm creating an interference in universe mode, I have to select the guy. So, I have to select the opposite of who I want to interfere against for him to go in and hit the right guy. It's stupid.
Yeah.
But, I mean, 19's pretty well put together. SmackDown versus Raw. God.
It's been a while.
It has been a while. You're making me think way back.
I'll tell you my favorite. My favorite would probably... Oh, gosh. Actually...
What was the one they added ECW in? It was like SmackDown versus Raw, and then the ECW logo was on the bottom.
Yeah, I was going to say 2008.
Yeah,
that was a great one.
That was a good one.
2009 was also pretty good.
Yep.
I was going to mention this when you were talking about 19 being so broken. If you ever get the chance, if you haven't seen this yet, go... I don't know if you can do it in play mode, but in universe mode... If you win a title as Undisputed Era, their victory animation will be the New Day. So you'll see
in 19 or 20?
In 19.
In 19, really?
Yeah, wow. I was playing the other day and I won the tag titles with them or something. And we got Kyle O'Reilly with the green trombone, and we've got Adam Cole and Bobby Fish shaking their hips and
Have you had the bug where it was after a match? So so this is the first time I've turned rivalries on, and I like it because you get more cutscenes and whatnot.
Yeah.
But one of the first matches we had in this universe mode now, with rivalries turned on, the invisible person came in and attacked?
I think I've seen something like that.
So somebody came in at one of the matches. It was after the match was over, and then you just see the camera pan to like it's on the ramp looking at the ring, and somebody's supposed to be running into the ring, sliding into the ring and beating somebody up, but you just see the car that's already in the ring punching and fighting air.
Yeah.
So
I've seen ones where there's meant to be 3 people, but they take one person out, and you can see like 2 guys celebrating in the ring, and then you see behind them the ropes like open a little, like as if someone's getting out.
And don't I know I tried a universe with cause and actual wrestlers that are in the game, and for 2 shows in a row, there was a women's match, and it was a dream in both matches. In both matches there were 2 totally different opponents, but Dream was the constant. At the end of both of those matches, Vince McMahon came in and beat the crap out of her.
In 19?
Yes.
I didn't think they allowed that.
No, it's a bug.
It's just a bug.
It's just a bug. Vince is not part of my roster. I didn't put Vince in there. He just slides in there and just decides to beat the crap out of one of my female wrestlers.
Showing up unwelcomed again.
Right, yeah. So
wow, that's insane.
Yep.
So we sidebarred a little, but that was kind of me. I enjoy talking about 2K, of course.
Right.
What are what are the most important lessons that you've learned from streaming and content creating in your long lifetime of streaming and content creating?
Don't go into it thinking that you're going to make a living off of it. That's the big one. I was a lot better with that early on.
Yeah, like
don't think you're going to be like, I'm going to quit my job tomorrow because I'm making enough to like pay the rent.
Oh,
this.
Yeah. I heard about my friend's coworker like quit his office job to start a podcast, which is great.
Right.
But I mean, you're not promised anything.
No.
You're not guaranteed anything.
And
also,
once...
I do think it's I think it's good to treat streaming like a job, like show up and do that whole thing and like stay on top of it, but only to an extent. You should be able to realize that it's a grind and you don't get famous overnight.
It's a fine line. So you brought up a lot of good points there. So when I say don't go into expecting to quit your job and all right, I'm going to start streaming tomorrow. I quit my job today and we're going to make this work. Fair play to the people that want to do that, and that the small margin, the small percentage that actually have succeeded, because somebody will strike gold and it'll work like that for them. Fair play to you. I'm glad it worked out for you, but you got to be responsible with it. I'm married. I have a wife. No kids yet.
Yet,
yeah. Trying. But no, I'm married. We're renting a house. We both have jobs and we both have responsibilities. So yeah, go into it. And if you want it, if your goal is to make this something that you want to make a career out of, then back to what you said, treat it as such. If you can have a schedule, great. Having a schedule is one of the best things you can do for streaming, because people will know when and where to find you. Sometimes it's hard to have a schedule. Like right now, the only constants I have are my wrestling streams. Pretty much the days and the times to find me with those. My other streams with, a variety of different games are pretty much random right now because of my work schedule. Excuse me. So yeah, if you can have a schedule, great. Treat it the way you want to treat it. If you're just treating it as a hobby and you want it to be informal and just, hey, a bunch of my friends are here. Oh, I got some randos coming in. That's cool. Fine, whatever. If you want to try to get to the levels of, say, like for me, like a Tangent or a Shroud or a Dr. Disrespect, that's shooting for the moon there. But, that's not a bad dream to have. So treat it as such, but be realistic about it. don't go into it thinking that it's going to change your life overnight. I've been doing this for X amount of years now, and I can pay on a good on a bad Twitch pay cycle. I can grab a meal and put a tank of gas in my car. On a good Twitch cycle, I can pay a handful of bills.
Right.
So
that's again.
Yeah.
Appreciate what you get from it, and
right, exactly.
Respect the whole grind. Now, here's a question I have.
Yep.
Do you think it's easier now than it was, say, 5-10 years ago to be successful as a streamer or a content creator? Because I have some arguments as to how it could be easier, but there's also some arguments, that it could be more difficult now.
It's a double-edged sword with that because
I think everyone's doing it now.
Everybody's doing
it. A lot of people doing it.
I think the accessibility for streaming now, for more people to get into streaming, the accessibility is there. You don't need an X amount of dollar PC setup to start getting into it, like some of us have, or you can have a PS4, or PS5, an Xbox, and they have those built-in streaming tools now. You just it's not as polished as something on PC or whatnot, but you can just hit go live or share or whatever, and you can just start streaming from right there. So the accessibility of it is a lot easier to get into nowadays. You can start, if you pick up a used PS4 today, you could start today if you wanted to. Right. It all depends on. I feel like that it's a very individual thing. Why I say double-edged sword, because it depends on what you're aiming for. If you're aiming to be the next Dr. Disrespect, if you're aiming to be the next Shroud, and those are the two big ones I can think of off the top of my head. No, it's not easy to get up to that. Dan's gaming as well. He's one I watched a lot. It's not easy to get to those ranks today because they've had the years of experience where streaming wasn't so easily accessible to get into. They started early. They built up their fan base. They built up their viewers and their subscribers and all that. So they have that time, and they have the work put into it to be where they are today. For somebody breaking in, like I said, if you went out today and picked up, let's say you grabbed a pre-built PC thing and whatnot, and you're serious about doing it, you got a couple of monitors, you got the Stream Deck and this and that, you got the camera, you're ready to go. It could take years for you to get to that point. But again, here's the other side of the sword. Because it's so accessible now, and not just to get into streaming, but watching it. You can find the Twitch app almost on anything now. Same for YouTube. It's a lot, but by those standards, it's easier to be discovered. But then the metrics, then the analytics, all that stuff comes into play. So that's where you're starting to fight with things.
Yeah. Once you start, you can get everything.
Right.
But once you actually start, it's a matter of, actually getting it done and seeing results. Do you think? Mm-hmm. Yeah. No. Okay. Because now that makes sense. I was gonna ask. Do you think, back then? But back then there wasn't as much accessibility.
Right.
For
so
people.
I feel like back then,
not as many options.
Right. And even back then, the options for accessibility for viewing wasn't there. Like back then, let's not go back too far, but Justin TV and Twitch, they were both there at one point in time together, and then they phased out Justin TV and merged everything over to Twitch. But it started as Justin TV. Then they broke off the gaming aspect of it and made Twitch. So you had both of them side by side, and then Twitch became this big thing, and Justin TV kind of went to the wayside. But during when those two were up and running at the same time, I don't believe there was a Twitch app on a phone or an iPad or something like that you could click and go and watch something. It was mainly PC side and whatnot, and maybe when PlayStation 4 and whatnot was starting to come into play, they got those apps on there and whatnot. So even the accessibility of watching wasn't as great as it is now. But the people that found the accessibility to watch had X, Y, and Z streamers to watch, and that's how they built their base and as to what it is now. So today, yes, the ease of it to watch is there, but then, like I said, you're fighting with the analytics. Like, I could put out a YouTube video right now of, my best stream highlights from the past week, and it'll get lost in the shuffle.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, totally. That another issue a lot of people find now compared to years ago is the constantly changing algorithm of discovery. I definitely think Twitch allows for easier discovery. YouTube, not so much.
No, that's where Twitch is actually, I'm not trying to badmouth either of the companies here, but
of course not.
That's where Twitch is getting something right, and YouTube is not getting something right in that aspect. Because, like I said about the YouTube thing, I could put out a video today of my best stream highlights of the past week, or I could actually put out an actual YouTube video of me doing something, and it'll get lost in the shuffle because I don't have the subscriber numbers that they're looking for, and I don't have the likes. That's why you see a lot of YouTubers like and subscribe. It gets drilled into your brain at this point. Like, subscribe, and notifications. Like, subscribe, and notifications.
I feel like to the point where I feel like it's drilled in your brain to the point where you just go back to not doing it,
right,
because you're so used to hearing it.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, whatever.
But
it's just like a thing.
For those streamers, for those YouTubers to get those videos to the front page, or for them to be in the feed of their subscribers, you need to have those notifications on. You need to have a certain number of likes and a certain number of subscribers for YouTube to look at you and be like, oh, you're viable. You're going to make us some ad revenue. So we'll push your video harder than this person over here who has X amount of subscribers less than you do and X amount of likes less than you do. So, I mean, Twitch, again, it's not easy to get discovered on Twitch, not by a long shot, especially in the higher viewed gaming categories. You go to IRL, you're going to get lost in the shuffle. You go to GTA 5, you're going to get lost in the shuffle. Fortnite, you're definitely going to get lost in the shuffle. Call of Duty, FIFA, all those big games.
But it can also be very hard, because if you're playing something that, like a game that's not popular, you might get a few people that are looking for that specific game on Twitch. But it's very hard to, from my experience personally, to find that happy medium, because I've played Fortnite on stream. I played Call of Duty on stream. Right. But I've also played small games that nobody plays as much. Off the top of my head, I can't really think of anything. But
you can't even think of the games.
That's the point. Yeah. But it's hard to find that medium of where you're discoverable.
If you want to, so it's also a fine line too. This brings up a really good point here about what to stream and what you want to versus what you need to stream. If you want to have fun and you want to just stream the games that you have fun playing, do it. If you like playing Fortnite and you want to stream Fortnite, and you have, Billy, John, and Xavier that are going to watch you because they're your friends, or they're going to play with you and they're going to have your stream up in the background and whatnot, do it. It's what makes you happy. Just when you're doing that, go into it with the mindset, I'm going into a very oversaturated category. I'm going to have the people that know I'm streaming, that are my friends and maybe family, watching me. And I'm probably only going to get one or two randos that come in, and only one might stay because they like what I'm doing. That's the mindset you have to go into with something like that. Now, on the flip side, you said, yeah, it's a bit harder. It's also hard to get discovered playing the games that, aren't on the top of Twitch's view list. Let's say a game that's going to be hot, I believe, during October are going to be obviously October, Halloween, scary games, haunting games. But let's say a game throughout the rest of the year that doesn't get a lot of notoriety. Don't Starve / Don't Starve Together. That probably from January to September, and then November, December, it's not going to get, a whole lot of views on Twitch. But October, it'll go from people watching that category, 20, 30 people watching that category. You'll get in the hundreds, maybe break 1,000 on that category or whatnot. If that's a game you like streaming, this is where you have to time it. Then, okay, well, I know it's going to get popular during this month, but not too popular where it's oversaturated. Well, then jump into that category, play that game. It's all about timing, too. If you want to grow your community, this goes back to if you want to make a living out of this, it's all about timing. Time the games that you like to play and want to play during the times you know when that game, which is normally dead on a regular day, is going to have a viewer influx because of either the season, there's a new update coming out, there's a new DLC, or, hey, this big streamer over here is watching it and is bringing 2,000 people into the category, and the category itself has 2,050 people. Well, 2,000 of them are in that big streamer's category. In that stream, the 50 are smattered about 12 other people. Mm-hmm. Well, jump into that. Try to get a piece of that.
All right. Yeah, get a piece of the pie.
Yeah,
I agree. To close everything out, I got one more.
Okay.
Maybe two more.
Go for
Maybe
it.
Three more. We'll see.
Okay, go for it. You got me for another hour if you need me. So.
Yeah, true. What are your goals for the future of your channel and your content, and how do you hope to achieve them?
Well, earlier on in this little podcast here, I did say I'm just coming back from a hiatus. Not to get too much into it, mental health took a dive, and people struggle with a whole bunch of different things. And, I was struggling, and it wasn't fun for me anymore. That was a big thing with everything else going on in my life. It wasn't fun for me. It wasn't viable for me to do. It was a chore for me to just open up OBS and get something together. And then I found when, I woke up in the morning. I want to stream. I actually want to stream today. And I'll get to the computer, sit down, have everything set up. Okay, what game do I want to do? And I'm looking through and I'm like, I don't know. And then just the want keeps going down because I'm so indecisive because everything else is going on. So I'm coming back from a hiatus. I've been back for a month now, a little over a month now, getting there. I bounced sometime in June, like early June, I think it was, and started coming back in September, like early September. So I try not to set right now, because of how I am in my personal life and my mental health and all that, I'm not trying to set long-term goals with it because I'm just dipping my toes back in here. But short-term, definitely. I want to at least get concurrent again. I would like to get a schedule again, and if my actual work schedule allows it, I'll get a concrete schedule down again. I want to, first and foremost, get back, or at least get close to getting back to where I was before I dropped off, Twitch. I'd like to get my numbers back on average to where they were. I would like to be more concurrent. Like, I've been doing really good. I'm patting myself on the back. I haven't missed an SPW stream, and when I say that, there was a week that I didn't have the show on the day that I normally have the show, but I made it up the next day. So I used to on my SPW streams, it was SPW Monday Night Madness, SPW Friday Night Showdown. I took the days out of those titles, so it's SPW Madness, SPW Showdown. So
I noticed that.
If I can't do it on a Monday, or I can't do it on a Friday due to like a family event, or if I'm mentally not there for that day, or something else is going on, or I have to work, I can easily move it to a Tuesday or Wednesday or a Saturday, and I can keep it within the week, and I can keep it going, keep it concurrent. And I'm proud that I've been able to do that with the wrestling streams. Now, the variety streams that I do with the different games and whatnot, I've only had I've had 3 streams, 2 No Man's Sky, 1 Fallout 76, and I'm not back to where I want to be with the variety streams yet, because the No Man's Sky ones were when the new update just dropped. I did the Fallout 76 one this past week, and I don't know if I'll do that again or not. I would like to, for short-term goals, get back to where I was, where with my viewers, my average viewers, my regulars. I'd like to, I feel like I'm back with SPW, so check that off the list. I'd like to get back to what I was doing with variety streams, and I feel like a good way to do that is getting a game that has like a good story mode playthrough that I could do, where it's like, okay, I'm going to do Fallout 4 modded. I'm going to go through the story and the DLCs, and then I can just stay concurrent with that and do those on those days. Just as an example, I might not do that. Or like start a new character in Elder Scrolls Online, run through the story with that, and help me get concurrent with the variety aspect of my stream. So yeah, stream goals, get back to where I was, and then I'll reevaluate and see where I want to go from there.
Awesome. And it sounds, it's a good thing to kind of have a plan, and, obviously mental health is first.
Oh, yeah.
And good on you for recognizing that and, taking a break, because in my opinion, if you're not there
right
to make the content you want, like if you can be there, but if you're not there, and it's not good content because you're not at your full potential and you're not into it, and if you're not into it, they're not into it.
Exactly. You're not doing the game justice, and you're not,
right.
Most importantly, you're not doing your community justice. You're not giving them your 100%. You're not giving them what they're used to getting from you, and that's just gypping them in the end, and I don't want to do that. And you say good on me for recognizing my mental health and whatnot. It wasn't easy because I wasn't recognizing it for a while. I had a lot of people try to drill it home to me. Take time off. Don't stream today. Put yourself first. There was some key people that really had to drill it in. It's like, you're not where you need to be. Get yourself back to where you need to be before you start worrying about everything and everybody else. So.
Yeah. And for other people who could be going through that like same thing, reach out to your community, reach out to us.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's why we're a community. We're here to help each other.
Definitely.
And there's no shame in realizing that you're going through it. I went through a similar thing earlier this year. And yeah, there's no shame in that.
No.
And good on you, Viper, for recognizing that. And just to close out, I want to say thank you for joining me.
Oh, no worries. Thank you for having me. This is awesome.
I think of how crazy it is that like we've known each other for a little bit now.
Yeah, it's been a little while. Yeah.
Like, I want to say December. I don't know though. It was either late last year or early this year, but
so say if you come into my stream next time, I can click on your name. It'll show you how long you've been following. I can do that. See how exactly long there.
Today, I'll do it today.
There we go.
So I'll give you the floor real quick to just promote yourself.
Promote myself? I'm not good at this.
Yeah,
shit.
you get to be like, hey, come watch
me. I'm the best at what I do. No.
That's right. Best there is, best there was, best there ever will be.
Oh, God, Bret Hart. There we go. Twitch.tv /JMViper86, spelled just as how it sounds. Mondays and Fridays. Mondays times might change, but for now, Mondays and Fridays, you can find me over there at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, Eastern Daylight Time, soon to be Eastern Standard Time when we get this stupid time change coming up. That's when you'll see both of my weekly SPW TV shows, because we're virtual and all. You'll find Madness on Monday, Showdown on Friday, and then once a month, usually last Sunday, second to last Sunday, depending on how the months roll, we have a monthly pay-per-view to kind of wrap things up for that month. And then Tuesday through Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, the rest of the month. Again, no real big schedule yet with the variety stuff, but I usually tweet it out, JMViper86 on Twitter. If you want to join the Discord, that's there. I usually will tweet and put in Discord at least a little bit ahead of time when I'm going to go live with one of my other games that I normally stream. So there you have it.
Cool. Awesome. It's been great having you. And, go check out JMViper86, of course. By the time this is out, you can probably check out his character in GCW.
Yes, I'm debuting this week.
Yeah, so this'll probably be out quite some time after this, because I'm a little sidebar. I'm recording these in bulk, and then just putting them out. But
that's good though. Have a backlog of it.
Yeah, that's all I am, is a backlog. I have way too much content, and
get it out there. Get yourself seen. Come on.
I know. Yeah, I know. I want to thank all of you for joining. And hopefully you've gotten to learn a little bit more about both of us, but mainly Viper because the episode's about him. Make sure to go follow Mr. Galeer on Twitch, YouTube, Twitter.
All those things.
Mr. Galeer _Twitch on Instagram and TikTok. We're on TikTok now.
I'm not.
I don't know how that'll go, but no, it's all right. Just trying to get discovered, man.
Go follow this man.
We'll see.
Do it.
All right. And with that, I bid you all adieu. Have a great night or day.